Hey, Coach, who's been working on kickoff return and at punt return?
We've had a ton of guys on punt return. We've had Trey Flowers. We've had D. Williams. Kickoff return, Jimmy Holiday. We've got Sampson back there. We've got Nico. We got a bunch of guys and a lot of guys that are capable and really excited about it. You know, Bayless is a hard guy to replace, but we're going to do it by committee.
How comforting is it to have your specialist back in terms of punter and kicker, and how much easier does that make, preparing for a season when you're settled there?
A lot. I mean, it's great. We got snappers back. We got 2 kickers back. Punters. I mean, we got great continuity in that room. Those guys pull for each other. Great work ethic. Come to work every day, and I know it sounds like coach speak, but that's facts. And really, really appreciate those guys, and they work their tails off. So we're excited about it.
How comforting is it to have Paxton Brooks back healthy? Do you expect to have him on kickoffs this year? And then we hadn't had a chance to talk to you about Jackson Ross as far as just, what he can bring to the table with him getting to campus now long term.
Is the word of the day comforting? I'm just messing with you. No, it's great. I mean, yeah, Paxton's been banging them off, banging them on kickoffs, and, Toby is too. I mean, shoot, we didn't have any returns the last 6 games on our kickoff last year, and Toby did a great job, but Paxton's done an awesome job. Jackson Ross, can't understand half of what he says, but no, it's joking. But he's going to be a really good addition. He just got here late, so anxious to see what he can do live. Seen it on Zoom and seen it on film, but really excited about him and excited about all our guys.
Another question. Adam and then Rob.
What's the philosophy, yours and Coach Happel's, about using starters, offense, defense, and punt and kick and coverage teams?
Well, what we try and do is we try and develop our guys too. I mean, you look at Christian Charles last year, you look at Nico Slaughter. There's a bunch of guys that played Rutger that are now, T-Mac. I mean, those guys are starting, a lot of them. But they played 30 snaps a game last year, and they didn't even blink when they got on defense. And then in the offseason, they're ready to rock and roll, and they're game tested. So really, you got young guys like, Jordan Thomas, you got Elijah, you got Caleb, you got a bunch of young guys that are hungry and ready to go, and then you got a bunch of veteran guys. So it's kind of a mixture, and it's a mixture of developing guys, mixture of getting key guys out there, keeping tread on the tires of the starters, and giving guys roles on this football team. And that's ultimately, we want as many guys to play as possible that can go out there and play at a championship level.
Coach, I'm sure it's not where you guys want it to be yet, but depth-wise, things look much improved on the defense this year, just in terms of bodies, numbers. What about your unit in particular? Do you feel like that? You feel like that's the case with your unit at the linebacker?
I mean, we got 2 young guys. I mean, I'm sure you're talking about Josh and James, and Josh is he's really coming along, and so is James. But James is a little bit more raw. And Josh is a little more seasoned in a certain sense, but both those guys have just an incredible amount of talent and unbelievable work ethic, great kids, just figuring it out. They're true freshmen. They just got here. And so the sky's the limit for them. They stay the course. They keep busting their tail. And you're talking about 2 guys that are 6'5", coming off the edge, and they can flat out go. And they got great instincts, and they love to play the game. So beyond excited. And then add in Roman and BY, and you got a great crew.
Ben and Patrick.
Coach, who are some freshmen that you've observed early on in these first couple of weeks that you think are really going to be able to help you on special teams this year?
Man, like I said, I mean, I named a few of them. You got Elijah, you got Caleb Perry, you got, Sampson is tearing it up, doing a great job. Squirrel's doing a nice job. Jordan Thomas and, Nimrod. Shoot, I'm leaving out a bunch, trust me. And then you got D. Williams, not a freshman, but just got here. I mean, he's electric. So there's a ton of guys, and really, we got a chance to be special.
Coach, going back to Josh and James, where have you seen them grow the most over these past couple of weeks, and how do you sort of manage expectations? Those guys came in highly touted. I'm sure a lot of people would like to see them on the field. How do you sort of manage their expectations going into their freshman seasons?
Well, managing the expectations. I mean, those guys. I've told them both. They got to think of themselves as seniors, because you got those seniors out here. They expect that out of them, and they can't. They're not freshmen. They got to go out and they step on the field. They got to execute. And they got to execute at championship level. And if they can't do that, then they're not going to be out there. So that's the challenge, to get them to that level, to get them to that point where they can go out and Coach Banks feels comfortable about putting them in. And they're going to play on special teams for us too early. So we'll get them rocking and rolling out there. And as the season goes, you should see their development, and you should see their roles probably increasing.
Yeah, back to special teams and a punt returner. Velos is really good in that role. Where's the balance in a guy who maybe is a risk taker back there versus putting a guy back there who you know is going to have the ball at the end of the play? What's kind of the balance, risk reward with that position, and trying to figure out who to put back there?
Well, we're kind of greedy. We want both. We want a guy who can strike up Rocky Top. That's the objective. We get a pitch to hit, and we want to hear our fight song. And so that's it. We feel like we work so much with these guys in the off season and during the season with ball security and catching the ball. We feel like we can get the best of both worlds, and we're going to.
At the Leo spot, how many do you feel like can help you this year? Would it be all four? Is it three of the four? And then is there ever a situation where you could see not just two of them, but maybe three of them on the field at the same time, maybe in a pass rushing situation?
Shoot, as we get going, there might be four of them. I mean, those guys, the sky's the limit. And again, it's on them, it's on me to get them ready. And I just think as the season goes on, you're going to see more and more out of both of them. And just remember, they just got here. And I'm not making excuses for me or them or anything, but they're going to be, those guys are going to be incredible players when it's all said and done. And it's just getting them to that point. And I think you're going to be excited what you see.
Mike, how do you get across sort of the mentality you want on special teams with young guys? I know that there's some things in terms of hitting that you can't quite do every day like you'd like to on special teams. How do you get guys to sort of get the motor running for that?
Well, we talk about everything we do on special teams, how it makes you a better football player, how it makes you better offensively, defensively, and we've got probably a different philosophy than a lot of people. We spend an unbelievable amount of time just working technique, and then we put it together. So we work stance and start on our punt team, on our punt return team, on our blocks, on everything. And our kids, we don't move on until they perfect it, and then we move on. And we don't give them a million rules. We legitimately teach them techniques, teach them, and tell them make a full speed decision and apply your tools. And so I think the kids enjoy it. And every day, Coach Heupel will get in a team meeting, and he'll have clips. We call them transferable skills, right? Where you'll see a defensive back go out there and eye stun a guy. You'll see him snag him. You'll see a receiver do the same thing. Every technique that we work and see how it transfers over to the offensive side, to the defensive side. And ultimately, Coach Heupel's vision, our vision, we want to be the best technique team in America, and we want to be a physical team. And that's what we really harp on. And our kids, they see it. You can talk all you want, but the film doesn't lie. And when you see it every day and you see guys improving and they see it going into making him a better player on offense, making him a better player in defense, that's all you need. And I love it.
Mike in the back. As soon as you got here, you were so complimentary of Knoxville, wanted to get out on the water to work and things like that. A year and a half in, what's life in Knoxville like for you representing the University of Tennessee, having your daughter on the volleyball team? How's it changed or enhanced even more?
Love this place. I mean, love who I work for, you know, all the administration, hype, all the coaches, the players, the community has been incredible. I mean, you look outside in the morning, you drive in, you drive right, I live right on the water. I mean, are you kidding me? I mean, that's what the good Lord wanted for me. I know that. As far as getting out on the water as much, it's kind of crazy. I actually had neck surgery right at the beginning of July. But I like to tell people, I had surgery, got out at 3 o'clock, drove myself home that night, drove to work the next morning, was out on the practice field, rocking and rolling. Had the same surgery that Peyton Manning had. And got on the elliptical for an hour. I've been rocking and rolling ever since. So, but I couldn't ski this year, that's my point. Couldn't water ski, which killed me. So next year, watch out, man. It's not gonna be safe on the lakes around here.
Other questions? Anything else? Wes?
Like sort of as camp goes along everywhere, you know, you see those times late in camp when you just see more non-contact jerseys, guys are getting dinged up. How do you kind of keep guys pushing at that point? Because it seems like one of those times where you kind of reach a fork in the road and you got to kind of pick a path.
Our kids, I mean, if they're able to go, they're going to go. And if they're not, they're not. We've got an unbelievable training staff, trust those guys, and our players trust them. So you're not here at the University of Tennessee if you don't love the game. So it kills those kids not being out there and being able to go full go. But, you know, we'll get them back and ready to roll. But that we don't have an issue. We don't have an issue with here. I mean, guys are begging to get out of a red jersey if they're in one.
I guess I was asking about keeping the guys fired up every day when you know the camp miles kind of pick up a little bit. How do you have any different techniques to get guys kind of motivated every day?
Yeah, I mean, I told him the other day, I asked him, I'll ask you guys the same question. If I told you tomorrow when you wake up, I'm going to give you $30 million, would you be fired up? Would you?
Yeah. Yes.
All right. What if I told you tomorrow, I'm going to give you $50 million, but you're not going to wake up? I'm asking. Wouldn't be real fired up?
Probably wake up for 30, I don't know.
No, I mean, that's not the option. Point being, our day's worth more than $40, $50 million. And so when you look at it that way, as a football player, as a human, you're either getting better or worse. And so if you say you want to be a pro, I mean, do your actions match your expectations? Are you talking about it or are you being about it? And it's about staying focused. And I was driving to work last week and I was thinking about it, and there was like 99% of the people in this world want to be great. Would you agree with that? Yeah, they're called wannabes. 1% work to be great. Drop the mic on that.
Appreciate it, guys.